Let me tell you about this practice of women, every woman, they call the SHIT test. And don't kid yourself. All women do it, even the good ones, because it is so deeply ingrained in their nature that they cannot even help it. Sometimes they don't even know that they're doing it. And if you haven't been told before, or if you don't know already, they do it innately, because that's their way of sort of determining if you are the type of man that they're looking for, if you have the qualities that they seek. As I said, all women do it, and there are those that are a little more evil, and for lack of a better term, and they do it, in a harsh way and in an intense way, and do it a little too much. And then there are those that do it subtly, in a very subtle way, and every now and again. Even those that care about you, they do it, and it's not always verbal. It's not always verbal. The SHIT test can be also in your mannerism. They will see that how you stand up in situations where your manhood is challenged, where you're in a restaurant and you want a good table, and they're giving you a lousy table in the middle of the room, and and you ask for the waiter to give you a corner table, and little things like that, opening doors and all that. But don't think it's always verbal. The SHIT test is often just as much non-verbal as it is verbal. Now, the million-dollar question is how to respond to the SHIT test. Now, I cannot tell you all the scenarios because there's 1,000,001 versions of this test. But I can give you one example. I've had so many times when I was dating girls at a younger age, they would tell me, such and such guy wants to go out with me. Do you think I should? My answer innately, even when I was not so red pill and aware of what this is really all about, I would say, well, yeah, I think you should. If that's your decision ultimately. But if you think that he serves your purposes better, I think you should. And I know now that it was the right answer. But what is the overall 100% all the time universal right answer to the verbal SHIT test? The answer is what was used in one time in a Bond movie. You might recognize the line. A woman says that all the men have so far disappointed her. And Bond comes back by saying, no doubt, I shall disappoint you too. And they hate that. They hate that because they want you to try to sell yourself, because that shows to them that you want them so much, you are so taken by them, you so want to be accepted by them that you are selling yourself. The worst thing you can do when you're with a woman is try to come off as you're selling yourself. She should be selling herself to you. When you come across as trying to sell yourself, that you got this and you got that and you got this and you did this and you accomplished that, whatever. She says, he must think that I am better than him. I've got the upper hand, so he's trying to prove himself to you. Don't ever make that mistake. She should be the one selling herself to you. Make yourself a valuable person so that you are worth being sold to. But the universal answer, the question, the point of this video, the universal answer to what is the correct reply to a verbal SHIT test is always make it look like you don't need it. You can take it or leave it. Let the answer be formed in a way that when it's put out, it gives her the impression that you can take it or leave it, that you're not desperate, that you don't have to have her. How do banks give loans to people? They make sure in 101 ways that you don't need the money, then they give you the loan. Show me your income, show me your credit, that everything should be perfect, and then they lend you the money. If you come out there with a terrible credit, you don't have a penny of income, and you don't have anything, assets or whatever, are you going to get the loan? No. Same thing in the romantic world. When you're faced with an SHIT test, always make it sound like you could take it or leave it. Other men want to go out with me. Do you think I should? Yeah. If you think that they're better, I think you should. and along those lines. And as for the nonverbal, I think we already talked about that. You have to be bold, you have to be strong, you have to come out as asking shamelessly for what you want and not accepting anything less. And if they're offering you anything less, what do? You turn around and you walk away. Those who have the highest chance of getting what they want is when they truly have the ability to take it or leave it. But it must be true, it must be genuine. If you go to a restaurant and they're giving you a table in the middle of the room when you really want something on the circumference and the corners, you walk away. If you don't get what you want, don't get what you think you can get. No. What impression does that leave of you out there? That you're a kind of guy or a lady that will take whatever they can get as opposed to what they truly want. When it comes to yourself, when it comes to your life, don't compromise. Don't settle. All the best till the next video.